side Rumbleminze and Rossu, and this is our 7-10 matchup. What are you predicting for today, Stump? What are we gonna see, and who's gonna win? All right. Well, what I think we're gonna see first is we're gonna see bombs down in Blue Brinstar, which is gonna force some DLC. And as far as who's gonna win, I think I'm not necessarily gonna say which players I think is gonna win, but I do think that whoever is able to adapt to the new variable progression speed is probably going to be the person who is victorious. So there's a cop-out answer from me, as we have our players headed down the elevator right now. Osse101's going to be first to the E-Tank that is not bombs, like I said it was going to be in Blue Brinstar. And so we're going to see some D-boosts into a Morph Ball.
Well, reverse vanilla is an interesting way for this to start. Sort of showing, sort of symbolizing the changes. The question is, what will the minor items be?
Yeah, and I think those missiles that Rossu just picked up is like the worst case scenario, in my opinion, because now if they find power bombs and not supers, it could make people wonder what's at Billy Mays, which is a big time sink if it ends up being just 2 missiles.
Well, we'll see what the item down below is. Well, look at that, power bombs.
Yeah, in this situation, I'm usually going back. I hate leaving something like Billy Mays behind, even though it rarely pays off in the way that you want.
Well, that could be where supers are. But it doesn't look like anyone's going there. Instead, getting the power bomb item, which is more missiles.
Yeah, we'll really just see who decides to check certain things like 230 and below Mother Brain, or if who's just gambling on finding those supers along.
And we got missiles there. Rossu and Osse101 getting there at pretty much the same time.
Yeah, Leno taking the meme route, though, and picking up more missiles in the Green Hill Zone, so we'll see him go back into big...
Meme route for the win. And there could be some really good major items here. Well, a really good major item here.
Rossu is not forgetting about the 230 missiles. Osse's going to pass it up, though, so the hunt for power bombs continues in different ways. And it's just more missiles for Ross at 230. Looks like another E-Tank at Charge Beam for Leno. And he doesn't have supers to check the Wavegate room. And there's no supers up here at the top of Big Pink.
Well, there could be... There's still early supers. There's still the bottom of green. And we can see that Bombs-Rezo held only another E-Tank. That makes me wonder what the next major item, other than an E-Tank, that we see will be.
Well, there's a Spazer Beam at Terminator for Rumble and Osse.
A nice little boost to firepower. Oh, but a nope tank below Green Brinstar.
Yeah, I'm not sure how Leno feels about picking up reserve tanks, but I know majority of people don't feel good.
Well, early supers could be what, and the item that's in that room could be, could get them going better. Let's
So
see
no
what
supers in the
Osse101's
back
doing.
of Gauntlet. No supers at Eticoons.
Oh, a vanilla nope tank. Not what you want to see. Rumbleminze still getting it. And
It's
there, our first super missile pack. Vanilla early supers. So that opens up a lot of the minor item locations around Big Pink, as well as access to what lies beyond it.
Yeah, and we are going to see also from our other runners that didn't take meme route, what was at Wavegate? Because I don't think Leno's going to go back. I think he's probably just going to head up and maybe check out Gauntlet. But at the same time, not finding Speed Booster, having bombs and Gauntlet pretty easily accessible on the way to wreck ship later, he might actually opt to go down. So we'll see what happens.
And with Rossu getting those early supers, everyone now has supers. And going through Green Brinstar while Leno goes up and checks what the minor items at the end of Gauntlet are.
Rossu successfully jumps over the Captain Tank at Eticoons. And there's more supers behind that green door for him, so...
Asa opens up the wave gate and finds plasma behind it. Rumble about to get there too.
And that's a pretty big item for Leno to have orphaned this early. And I think the only thing that really could encourage him back in that area is Speed Booster, so he could also check out Waterway. So we'll see how important the Plasma Beam pickup for Osse becomes later in the race.
I'm hoping that it turns out to be one of the ingredients in microwaving. And we've got... I saw Leno going up to Gauntlet, but deciding to save before actually going in.
Yeah, he can't get out unless it's, I guess, like Screw Attack or maybe Speed Booster if he knows how to do an extremely short charge. Or bombs, of course. I'm not crazy about this check, just because if it's something like high jump boots, like, I don't know what you decide to do at that point. I mean, high jump boots make everything so much better. You probably end up going back for him once you get access, but who knows when that's going to be honest. There's a charge beam.
Yep, that's a big find at Spazer.
And there was a wave beam at the gauntlet check.
So Leno resets to the ship because it would not have been possible to get back out. But Leno now knows that that's what's there. And Rossu about to also get charged. Leno crossing the moat.
Yeah, going for the CWJ here. Let's see if he gets it. Oh, just misses it. He got the frame against the wall to be able to do it, but it's still very tight timing to get. I really enjoy doing CWJ, though it's not easy at all. It's a very satisfying trick to be able to pull off.
It really does feel good to get. Yeah, we got it. Osse and Rumbleminze in grade. One good quick kill. Hopefully that's about to become two. Oh, that super was a little bit early though.
So Leno decides heck CWJ, and he's gonna go down the red tower, it looks like. I don't necessarily blame him. He was doing a technique where he uses a door transition, which is using a little more time. If you can kind of line up backwards into that door to be able to line up the CWJ, but that doesn't make it easier. It's still a very difficult trick.
Yep. And Kraid's prize turns out to be bombs. That's a definitely nice thing to have. And the E-Tank is vanilla. Yeah, this gives me the feeling that we'll be seeing Norfair now. And Leno finding only missiles in the power bomb locations at the top of Red Tower.
Yeah, he's going to be running into a pretty big time sink as far as doing damage, because everybody's going to have plasma except for him. Of course, he's only racing Osse, but that's going to make a huge time difference between our.
And we have Screw Attack at Ice Beam. So that's gonna I'll open up some technique possibilities. Oh, and at high jump we have gravity suit.
We have gravity suit, and we have Leno going back to the wave gate to pick up plasma beam. So that damage difference isn't going to be so big, but Leno's spent a lot of time just to get that. And his opponent is definitely way ahead, I think, at this point, seeing how he spent a little bit of time trying to do that CWJ.
And Rossu headed towards Screw Attack. Rumble about to get Gravity also. Leno with Plasma.
I don't think Leno took a save here. Or I'm sorry, I don't think Osse took a save here.
Oh, there is that save. So now I believe we'll be seeing the way to Bulb Mountain and soon the items that are in there. Rumble preparing to do the same. And Leno back in Red Tower and going down. Looks like Rossu switching to doing Meridia.
Yeah, I kind of like the play.
Yeah,
there's only a couple items that you can check at this point anyways. You can only really do Mama Turtle and Sandpit. So if you find anything like super important there, it's going to be a big advantage of if there's nothing in Norfair, which of course is the higher percentage play as far as number of items that you can be checked quickly.
Yeah, I definitely do like this play. Let's see what we have.
I like this play too. I think that it's an interesting way to kind of play the new variable logic and just the E-Tank form at Mama Turtle. But if he's trying to, it's harder to read the seed now, but if he's trying to, maybe he's thinking that he got a bunch of stuff in Brinstar. Maybe that was the fast part of the progression. Maybe it's going to slow down in Norfair after picking up Gravity, and it's going to pick up again in Meridia.
Oh, Rossu now out of Meridia and going left. Probably up to the wreck ship. And Leno takes down Kraid. About to get bombs and an E-Tank. And
Vanilla Stevie Booster.
Yeah. For us. And Rumble will be there soon. There's some good things that opens up.
Yeah, you've got the rest of Meridia, you've got Waterway, you've got your Wreck Ship Reserve, and an abundance of shortcuts that make the game a little bit shorter, like getting out of North. Of course, he doesn't have high jump boots, so that does make Speed Booster a little bit more challenging, to say the least. But I'm sure a player like our players here, especially Osse, who has excellent movement. Oh, there is his microwave, too, that you were talking about.
Oh, yes. X-Ray being at wave, that is the final ingredient in Microwave Beam. So we'll quite possibly be seeing that strategy employed in every place that it can be. And we got Rossu checking Gauntlet. We know that the item that is there is Wave.
Gets grabbed by the yapping maw.
Osse and Rumbleminze finishing up their speed booster farming. After having done a good amount of it at the same time. Rumble about to complete the microwave beam. And we have Varia at the Norfair Reserve. It's always interesting when Varia is in Norfair.
Now, Rossu's going to either mess with the CWJ. Oh, you can just do wall jumps off this. Gravity wall. Oh, Rumble taken to death to the heat. I think he saved in Bubble Mountain.
Oh.
But that probably means he's... No, he looks like he got Speed Booster and went and saved.
Well, we're about to see that.
Oh, never mind.
And Rossu makes it into the wreck ship. And we have a lava spark from Osse.
Yeah, I don't know how much you've watched him play, but I watched him a lot in the combo randomizer tournament that happened a little bit ago. And his Super Metroid movement, some of the stuff that he does is incredible. I mean, not to discredit any of the runners that are in the playoffs, of course, but Osse's a very, very good runner.
And we've got Rossu in the Phantoon fight. And Rossu takes down Phantoon.
Osse gives up on showing off that wall jump. He looks like he's just going to bomb jump up worst room in the game. Yeah, Toasty pointing out he's one of the members of the Prodigy tournament that's also currently going, which is for runners with a sub 50 time in any percent.
Yeah, that wall jump is very precise when you don't have high jump. It involves, I believe you have to do it about as far away from the wall as you can.
All right, first treasure in the wreck ship for Rossu is a grapple beam, so he's going to be able to tickle a lot of creatures on Zebus later.
And Rumble beginning to bomb jump up to the Norfair reserve rooms, where we know that Varia hides. That'll be a good find. Rossu through the spiky room of death. And going up to see what is at the E-tank. But it is a different type of tank. One that we do not want to see.
Osse employing the microwave beam on the Metal Ninja Pirate.
It definitely works well against them. And we have the beginning of the Ridley fight. Meanwhile, we have Rumbleminze on the way to the lower Norfair entrance. Leno completing the microwave beam. And Rossu through attic and checking what is at wreck ship reserve. Finding an E-tank there. That's a good thing there that it's only an E-tank, because Rossu does not have speed booster yet.
Yeah, I guess really there's the most helpful things that could have been there would be like high jump boost, space jump, or ice. We know that a lot of the other good stuff is it was in Brinstar or Norfair. Could be Spring Ball, which is also a very nice quality of life item. One of the greatest, some might say.
And Rumble getting ready to gravity jump up the lava. And Rossu about to see what is at gravity. An E-tank. So definitely not a stacked ship. Rumble begins setting up for the pillar room, gets the charge, sparks a little tiny bit too low to spark through the pillars though. Also on the way back from Ridley, whose prize was only an E-tank, getting the speedball out of Wasteland. And heading up to the lower Norfair exit. Rumble bomb jumping up worst room in the game. Leno getting ready to go through the lava.
Yeah, Osse noped out of the Firefleas check, so wasn't anything worth grabbing. And one of the interesting things at play for him is that a few of our runners, I think Leno and Ross, know that there's another power bomb pack at the end of Gauntlet. So if he doesn't find Ice Beam, we'll see how many minor checks he opts into to possibly find another pack of cheeseburgers.
Rossu checking X-ray and finding high jump there.
Do you think we're going to see any Ranomizer? You think anybody's going to get that desperate for Ice Beam?
And well, with the way the things are right now, I don't think so.
Oh, Osse just debated me. I thought maybe.
But perhaps Ice might show up in Meridia. We haven't seen much of Meridia yet.
So Rumble didn't go back for X-Ray after he died, so he can't microwave the bosses in Meridia and Rec.
Well, we'll see what type of effect that might have. And Rumble beginning the Ridley fight. Charge plasma, so that's gonna require, I believe, 40 shots. Osse headed towards Between, only 2 rooms away.
You are being confirmed as correct by 40 shot.
Yeah. Leno on the way down Wasteland. And we got some microwave action from Osse.
Sure, Yankee Rocket. The microwave beam is a combination of charge beam, plasma beam, and the X-ray scope. And it's because plasma does damage per frame. So when you get the thing to take the damage from the charge shot, you spam the spam the X-ray scope, and that causes the enemy's iframes to be reset, and it does damage per frame that way.
Rumbleminze has taken down Ridley. Leno beginning that fight now. And Rossu about to get Speed Booster.
Oh, that's right. Thank you, John. Plasma doesn't do damage per frame, but it does pierce the enemy, which means it doesn't disappear when the shot.
And we've got microwaving of Dragon now.
That's a nice microwave, one round, just having the charged plasma combo.
Without all the extra beams, a few more hits are needed. And vanilla space jump is the prize for that. Leno taking down Ridley. Rossu getting X-ray. And Rumble checking Fire Flea E-Tank, which is an E-Tank. Not getting it. Leno on the way back from Ridley now. Oh, I didn't see what... Oh, only an E-Tank as the platoon item. But the only boss that... that Osse has left is Phantoon. And we see a check of the aqueduct items. Power bombs being one of them. And missiles being the other.
And that's huge. He's definitely in go mode now, like full on.
Yep, that pack of power bombs means that the Metroid rooms are traversable without having to have have 2 power bombs drop from the first 3 rooms. It'll be interesting to see where Ice Beam turned out to be when we see the credits read out.
Yeah, any guesses?
I'm thinking... nobody checked Waterway, right?
No.
That's what I think.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's Shack Tool. I think Ross is going to be the only person that found the grapple beam that would give him access to it, but he's not going to go there.
Shack Tool would be a fun place for Ice to be. Yeah, if Ice doesn't show up, I wonder if we'll see anyone end up going for Torian with only 10 power bombs. Although I believe, was there a pack of power bombs at the end of Gauntlet though?
Yeah, there was a pack of power bombs and irregular missiles.
Yeah, we might see a grab of those for anyone who only has 10 power bombs.
Yeah, Ross knows that they're there, and I think Leno does too. I think those were the 2 that checked.
And there's the Phantoon microwaving. Leno entering Meridia. Ross in the Ridley fight.
I think Ossie's looking at about a 52, maybe a 53 here. Maybe I'm giving too much time to how long power bombs take to kill the Metroids. I'm not really sure.
There's 15 power bombs for Rumbleminze. Thanks to the pack that's in Aqueduct. Leno setting up to microwave Platoon. As Rumbleminze does also.
And each of them having to pop it back in the microwave for a couple more frames. Not a little cold in the middle, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta have your mini bosses cooked evenly throughout.
That's very true.
And now we have a double microwaving of Dragon imminent. Rossu on the way out of Lower Fair. And also in Metroid Room 3 now. And Leno and Rumble both checking and getting the vanilla space jump that Dragon was protecting. Both of them still have Fantoon to do. And Leno grabbing the Batuni tank to enable stand up.
Ossie's going to take a safety save before he heads into the Mother Brain area. See if he gets the speed skip. I'm sure he's going to... I mean, he's shown off a lot of incredible technique already.
And there is the speed skip. That always looks so nice to see. And Mother Brain 1 begins. And as Mother Brain 2 happens, Rumble and Leno are headed into the wrecked ship for their final statue bosses. Rossu taking out Batoon thanks to microwaving.
This race between Rumble and Rossu is actually extremely close. They're going to be in their boss fights at the same time, but Rumble's not going to have as much distance to get down into Turian as Rumble.
Right. Yeah, both of the boss fights are not going to be too long because they're microwavable. And both Leno and Rumble have taken out Fantoon. Oh wait, no, Rumble hasn't yet. Got a little thrown off by the large number of drops that there were thanks to Plasma and the flames.
Ross is going to decide to pick up that space jump. I definitely agree with that pickup. Even with that many bosses down in this little left of the game, just getting back out of Meridia with that, I think, is so much easier. Well, Leno knows that there's another power bomb pack at the end of Gauntlet. So if he's not going to commit to 10, he might just know that he needs to go there. Yeah, it's true. He also knows that Wave is there. Osse's all wrapped up with the Mother Brain, and he is going to make his escape.
We got Leno headed through Gauntlet for that, and Rumble sparking left across the ocean and almost at the landing site. But Rumble will not be detouring through Gauntlet because I guess so. Because already 15 power bombs.
And Osse has finished his race in first place with a 49 minutes and 50 seconds. Good game, Dom.
GG. And we got Leno next to enter Dorian. And Rumble is going to be there soon, just picking up the gauntlet minor items at the end. And Rossu in Gauntlet to get Wave and the last power bomb pack needed to guarantee not having to go back for more power bombs. Although Rossu did already have Wave.
Well, now we'll get to find out where that ice beam was when we see the tail end of Osse's credit.
Ooh, that we will. Rossi reaches the elevator, so now all remaining racers are in Dorian. And Leno through the big Metroid room. Rumble in there now, and Rossu in Metroid room 3. Well, Ice was at Shacktool.
I knew it, but I didn't, but I did.
And Rumble now through the big Metroid room. Deer Force for Osse. Leno taking out the Zebatites. Rumble on the way to Mother Brain room after refilling. Leno in Mother Brain 2 now with Charge Wave Plasma. Rumble attempting Speed Zeb Skip. There's the charge. There's the skip.
Yeah, very nicely done.
And there's Mother Brain 1 finished for Rumbleminze.
Rossu setting up for his speed skip.
Ooh, not getting the charge though. Rossu tries again. Rumble fighting Mother Brain 2 now. This beam combo takes 24 shots, if I remember right. There's the catch-up. There is Rossu getting the charge. And through the Zebetite. So 3 speed Zeb skips and 1 Zeb skip.
And we are joined by Osse. I think it's Osse. Osse, how are you doing? Good.
GG. Yeah, that was a fun one. Proceed of the new logic.
Did it feel any different than the old logic to you?
I don't know, but I just don't trust the logic anymore. So in that way, I play it more randomly. So like, I wouldn't guess that this was fastest. It kind of played like one.
Yeah, the only real barrier to making it, like your Turian fast was Ice Beam ended up being at Shadow. Have you practiced a lot of the variable logic, or is this the first one that you...
I played a seed this morning, but that was it.
One thing I would like to know, Osse, is how did you get started running Super Metroid?
So Super Metroid's a game that I've always liked since I was little. And so I started watching people speedrun it and just enjoyed watching speedruns of it. But then was a little worried about playing it myself. Worried that I'd lose the nostalgia feel for it. So I just put that off and just kept watching. And then the combo Randomizer came along with A Link to the Past and Super Metroid. And so I just started playing that, and from there I learned all the tricks for Super Metroid.
All right, Leno finishing with a time of 58 minutes and 5 seconds. Good game to Leno. And were you a big Link to the Past Randomizer player before too, or just when you saw combo is something you were really interested in?
I was getting into it. I think I was still growing into Link to the Past at the time. It was sort of, I just found out about Randomizer and then picked it up and started learning. And then by the time I got decent at Link to the Past, a combo came out.
Well, I gotta say, I watched you in the combo tournament as well, and I think that for somebody that's been playing for about 2 years, probably Super Metroid wise, you've got an incredible range of skill.
Coming up on 1 year. Yeah. Doing really good in this Randomizer tournament, but not so great in the Prodigy tournament.
Well, I think that you're one of the, if not the only one of the few people running new route in that.
Yeah, it's me and John. But the problem is we keep dying.
All right, we also have Rumbleminze finishing sub-hour with a time of 59 minutes and 15 seconds. So good game to him, getting first place in his match with. And and Rossu is making his way through the parlor, finishing up his seed. Make sure you give these guys a follow, these runners. They are all super nice guys, very entertaining people. So make sure that you take the time to give them a follow if you're already. And Rossu finishing up his run in 1 hour and 15 seconds. So good game to Rossu. And we also are joined by Rossu in chat. Good game, Rossu. How are you doing?
Hi, GG. It was a really fun race, I think.
Yeah, super fun to watch. You guys were really close.
Yeah, that's playoffs for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I take that rush ship was last for these guys?
Yes, it was. How did you know?
Well, rush ship had nothing. So, and they finished pretty far ahead of me. So I took a gamble. I think I read into the scene too much. And I was hoping that Varia would be at rush ship, but it looks like it's not the case.
Yeah, and how many of these hit the variable speed progression have you played? Have you done a lot of practice on them?
0. No,
I mean, I know you've been doing any percent practice, so of course, like grinding rooms and stuff like that's also going to be helpful.
Yeah, definitely. But as far as like how different the variable logic is or setting is, I don't have any experience in it, so I played it a little differently. As soon as I got gravity, I decided to backtrack, into wreck ship and take a chance and see if Varia's there. I did cut a lot of unnecessary items. For example, ice. I recently learned how to speed booster Zeb skip, so I thought that would be helpful for me, and it looks like it is. I don't know. Ice beam was that spring ball. Yeah, definitely. I would have. I would still be playing right now if I picked up ice head spring ball. But yeah, it looked like a really close race. I'm really excited for race 2 on Monday for me, and Rumble's a really good opponent, so I gotta practice a little more.
Thanks.
And we are joined by Rumble and Leno, so good game to both.
Yeah, GG. Looked really close. Should be fun to watch back.
Yeah, it was a very close race between. I mean, with the exception of Aussie just pulling away from everybody, but you guys were all extremely close. Rossu and Rumble were going into their last boss fight at this.
Oh wow!
How many times did you try for his speed booster Zeb skip?
I got it first try. Which actually surprised me because I was trying to do math in my head about what ammo I would need if I just had to shoot out the Zebs. And I was like, I think I was actually one off. And so I was like, well, crap, whatever. Let's just get speed booster Zeb skip first try and then I don't have to worry about it. And I did, and that was good.
Yeah, it took me 3 tries. But yeah, I can't wait to watch this back. I mean, we're only a minute apart, so exactly a minute apart. So it's gonna be a fun VOD to watch, I guess.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see. Looking at Aussie's items, it looks actually looking at everybody's items. Looks like the routes must have been pretty similar for just about everyone. So it'll be interesting to see just how well Aussie executed on the route that people did, because I made quite a few mistakes here and there. I died in Bubble Mountain once, which was unfortunate.
Well, just to give you a taste of how Aussie did, he did mention earlier that he is part of the Prodigy tournament and isn't doing so hot, unfortunately for him. But he can just casually Lava Spark into Lower North.
Well, that's rough.
Yeah, any other thoughts on the seed or how the progression kind of played?
Where are the supers? Where are the power bombs?
Yeah.
Missiles everywhere to start. I had 50 of them before I even went down to Brinstar.
Oh wow. I skipped a bunch of ammo, and then I actually wish I would have picked up some more supers, so I wouldn't have to worry about speed Zeb skip. I could have just shot out the Zebs if I missed it, but I was stubborn and said I don't need any more supers. And then at the end I got scared and said I should probably collect some of these. And then it didn't matter.
No, I've been hitting my speed Zeb skip pretty consistently, so I just stopped collecting supers as soon as I got charged plasma. And then from there, I was just looking for either ice or power bombs.
Yeah, and I guess a question for Leno and Aussie is because you guys, well, I think now Ross did the gravity jump into wreck ship. How much time are you guys willing to sink into one of these races to a difficult trick like CWJ or the high jumpless worst room in the game?
High jumpless worst room isn't an issue as long as I have something that can get me up, like bombs or space jump. And when I found bombs at Crane, like, okay, if I have to do lava dive without anything else, it's fine. But CWJ is something I know I can get. I can either get it first try or I can spend 15 minutes trying to do it. So I figured if I'm going to spend 15 minutes, I'm just going to give it a couple shots and then just nope on out of there and do normal route.
Yeah, I gave CWJ only a couple of attempts and then move on. The high jumpless wall jump is a little isolated, so I'd spend more time on that if I was committing to it. So I'd probably keep going till I got it.
Yeah, I tend to, especially for the races, I try not to stray too far out of my comfort zone. If I know, like if I'm not comfortable landing a trick, I'm not going to go that route and possibly waste 15 or 20 minutes trying to get it. Like I could try to do high jumpless lava dive like without gravity. Like with gravity suit, it's a lot easier, but without gravity, right? But I could end up spending a half hour or an hour trying to get that. And I would just instead reroute and eat the 5 or 10 minutes that it takes to run a different route than try something like that.
Well, it's probably a good thing, personally, that I noped out of CWJ because both suits were in Norfair and all of your good items were down. So there was like maybe Ice Beam, maybe Spring Ball in Wreck Ship, and that would have been it, or maybe just a bunch of tanks.
Yeah, just grapple and tanks.
Yeah, I saw Ice Beam was at Shaq Tool, so I don't think anybody was getting that.
All right. Well,
Nice.
Stump, do you have any other questions, or either anybody in here have anything else?
Well, thanks a lot for commentary and restreaming. GG to everybody, and
GG.
we'll see you next match.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us for the interview. That is the only race that we have for today. We have a block of races tomorrow, starting at 10 a.m. Eastern time, and not consistently running until 8 p.m., but just 5 matches spread in between. 2 versus Kishmo and Scotty 6, and then Aussie and Leno will be wrapping up their best of 3 tomorrow. So all of our playoff matches, of course, will be on Speed Gaming. Any final words, Stump, before we sign off?
That you do follow the runners. That was such a great race, and I'm looking forward to all the rest of the playoffs.
Yeah, I totally agree. Should be some excellent races tomorrow that I'll try to catch the ones that I'm not at work for. But thank you for joining me on commentary. I really had a lot of fun. And of course, shout out to Speed Gaming for everybody getting us going and getting the stream up. We really appreciate it. All right, and on that note, I am Android Dreams, and was of course joined by Stump, and I hope everybody has a great day, and we'll see you next.
See ya
See you
on
next
future races.